my beautiful, beautiful people. I love you. Hi. Hi, Wildfire. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Welcome to 1111, everybody's favorite true crime voice here on the YouTube streets. Hey, Jenny Troglin. I want to say thank you to all my mods, those that are always here, those that show up when they can. You all matter, you all help, and I love you. Well, I got back, you guys, and the cafeteria is clean. I don't see any remnants of a food fight, so I thought I'd join the team again. And we'd get going talking about Sebastian Rogers. Hey, Sassy, my beautiful Sassy Sass. She says hello to the True Crime family. Now remember, you are currently watching a live or a replay. And if you are watching a replay, you have a fast forward button. I encourage you to use it as needed. And thank you humbly for replay. I greatly appreciate my replay crew. Hey, Laura Williams. We have an all-star panel here. Natural Healing's here. Ziona Pride. Aw. Jilly Lane. Whole bunch of you folks. Well, I'm so happy to see you. Summer Snow and Chair 63. Hello, hello. I don't expect a great deal of people to actually view this. And I know that that seems weird, right? But the truth is, Sebastian isn't getting the coverage he needs on any level. And he's a 15-year-old with a higher functioning autism. I have a lot of questions. We're going to be going over another interview. And I want you to discern, do you believe what the parents are sharing or not? Do you personally believe them or not? Now, I'm going to share my own humble belief, if I believe them or not. So this interview is going to be interesting for sure. It's one of those things where there are words that are said. Now, sometimes without even realizing it, and maybe it's subconscious, someone will say something that just, the phrasing is strange. And I caught that and I was like, why was it said that way? And then I happened to be thinking about what are they showing me? And they happen to be showing me a picture of Sebastian. And I was like, what the hell is that? And I enlarged the picture. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? So I want to share that with you. Like I said, words matter. Hey, Lorraine B., Rondi Potter, welcome to 1111 True Crime. Patricia Parker, welcome back, love. That girl's here. Hello, lovely. And as we work through this interview of the parents, it's going to allow you to truly look at what's being said, word value. And what do I mean by that? So I'm going to give you an idea of how confusing words can be. My dog's name is Jack. I'm trying to make my bed. My dog, Jack, this has literally happened to me. My dog, Jack, is on my bed and I'm trying to make my bed. So I yell out, Jack, off, right? You feel me? The context can be taken out and it can look like we're saying something we're not. So we have to be careful on judging words. But at the same time, we have to use discernment, which is our gut. Are we truly believing them if we just listen to these people? Do we believe what they say? Because it's so important that we learn to discern between somebody that is being honest, sharing their opinion, sharing their thoughts, their feelings, or somebody being dishonest and trying to pull the wool over our eyes, maybe hide something. One of the things that I have learned in this case through listening to both the stepfather and the father of Sebastian Rogers was we are being told that there were dogs that tracked Sebastian's scent to a construction site and it dead ended at a construction site as if it evaporated right there. Now, the individual that I was listening to was either the stepfather or the father. I can't quite remember because I've listened to a lot of interviews. In that interview, they said that in their opinion, it could mean, like they had heard that it could mean a car could have been involved where the person is then put into a vehicle. Now, something came to my mind that I need help with on the Sebastian case to understand. At one point during all these interviews, the mother hints at a flashlight and related to Sebastian. Now, I am not talking about the double flashlight footage that law enforcement have said is unrelated. They know where that is. They know who was what and doing that. That's not it. But there was some communication, and I was like, that's how she walked. She knows he walked out the door because she's like, I don't know why he walked out that door. And that was in our previous video, in the first interview that I saw, and one of the interviews I shared. And we were all like, how does she know he walked out that door? And I got to thinking, where did I get this impression? And did I make it up in my own like thought process that somehow it's been implied that they had a flashlight missing? Am I wrong? Can anybody give me a link or validate that, or have I imagined that they had a flashlight missing? Because we know he had no shoes on his feet, and if there's a flashlight missing, who would take a flashlight but not shoes? Right? He got hit with a beam, Joyful says. Hey, Joyful, lovely. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this? Does anybody else, or am I literally tripping? Hey, Connie Owen, real dad said he trained his son to keep a flashlight in case of emergencies. Okay, but this was more than that. Yeah, Wildfire. Wildfire is going to help us out. She's going to see what she can find in the next few days about a flashlight. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I really got the impression, and I kind of just let it slide by, that they, and I'm talking about the Proudfoots, had somehow, and that'd be the mother and stepdad, had somehow insinuated or put in my mind that they were missing a flashlight. And I'm like, if that's true, that is the most peculiar thing ever, because why is this child who's afraid to get dirty exiting the home barefoot? I mean, this is a child that doesn't like to get dirty. And they're leaving the home in the middle of the night, in the dark, barefoot. And they don't even like the outdoors because they're scared to death of bugs. This does not work. Not for me, you guys. Patricia Parker says, I think stepdad was home, commotion around 10. In my opinion, he took him out, put him in the car, took him away. He was annoyed with Sebastian. He needed to be quiet if he wasn't home. Some people do feel that way. You're not alone in some of those thoughts. 32 to 63 miles per hour. Thank you for joining us. You say in the first interview, Mom said he took his flashlight. Okay, I will have to go back. There's got to be a moment. Jilly Lane, I thought I heard the flashlight too, but now I'm not sure. That's why I say we have to absolutely. Now, I didn't have time because I was playing Minecraft on a vacay away from true crime. But while I'm playing Minecraft, my mind is on these cases. And I'm like, oh my golly, I've got to check it out. But I played too late at night. I didn't get a chance to check it out. So I want us to find out. Okay, Gemini 65. I thought I heard about a flashlight too. And is that why it was so important that we saw flashlights in this film that is not related to Sebastian according to law enforcement? Is that what triggered us to be like, oh, flashlights? I bet that has something to do with it. So we need to investigate that. Now, Randy Potter, welcome to 1111 True Crime. You have a very good point, and you say it's kind of hard to determine the info since parents and biodad describe Sebastian so differently. I'll tell you what, I would give almost anything, because I don't want to say anything because I have kids and I don't want to give up one of my kids. But I would give almost anything to have this baby home safe. But the next wish, if we can't have that right this moment, is I want to see all these parents on the same page in one interview. All three of them. I would love it. So, are you about ready for this? We're going to jump into, let's see, let's do this little deal. Okay. Yeah. Fair use disclaimer. Let's see if I can get through this without screwing it up. And how fast can I read it? Deep breath. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Boom! I get a gold star. Teresa Bowman says, I saw on Duchess today where they said Sebastian was missing his little keyring flashlight, that they couldn't find it, so they're assuming he took it. Huh. All right, guys, we got to dig into this. We're going to do this interview. Born Pack Rat is a Starlight Bud and has been for well over a year. 15 months. Thank you, absolutely beautiful friend. I love you. And Born Packrat says, hey, Mama D and 1111 family. Been on replay crew for a while. Welcome back, love. We miss you when you're gone. We miss you, lovely. We do. Hey, Wild Man's mom. Good to see you, love. Question, says 32 to 63 miles per hour. Mom said he liked shiny things. Could he have looked in dumpster, jumped in, maybe trash truck took him away by accident? I don't know, just a thought. Well, if that would have happened, I would have hoped that when they did the entire landfill search and came up empty-handed, that they would have found something. But, nothing can be ruled out at this time. Born Pack Rat just gifted us, I kid you not, 10 memberships. Thank you, Born Pack Rat. Welcome back, Sassy Patricia Parker, Gemini 65, the Canadian Cat Lady, 32 to 63 miles per hour, Rondi Potter, Peg Hancock. Welcome. I have never met you before. Welcome to 1111 True Crime and Starlight members, Jamie, Tammy, and Trip Kaiser. Welcome, all of you. And Jenny says, welcome to all new members. Thank you, Born Pack Rat. You guys make it fun. Let's get off this disclaimer. Let's get on to something a little bit more interesting, okay? I feel like I'm going to have to move. Oh, let's get that out of the way. I feel like I'm going to have to move this down. No. Yes. Can you live with that on her forehead? I didn't plan that out too good, did I? Welcome to the new set. Look at it. What do you think? It is when we go to decide if we believe them or not, which I will get us a little icon where I share, like, if we believe them in the end or not, or each section. And I'm going to have you guys remember, if you believe it's a truth, it's number one, because there's only one story, right? It's truth, singularity. If you don't believe them, so if you believe them, it's a 1. And if you don't believe them, you're going to put down a 2, okay, per section. Now, we're not saying whether they're lying or not. We're saying whether we believe them or not, right? Okay. Now, I know people are going to come at me and be like, how dare you analyze these parents of a missing child? I cannot believe this. You need to stop making money off these children. Let me explain this to you real quick. I need you to take a hard right. We are bringing awareness to this child. We are going to look at everyone that is close to this family. Everybody. The closer the person is to the child, the more they're going to get scrutinized. That's what we do here. So, there you go. Welcome, Crime on a Dime, my lovely. Good to see you. Good to see you. Nettie, 15 months. Y'all, I have the most loyal long-term members in the world. I love you too, Nettie. She says, love you all. Okay, all right. Yeah, stepdad took his hat off, Cat. Right. All right. So already we haven't even started the interview, and we have a lot of people that say, I don't believe them. All right. Now, I'm not asking you to get a clean slate. I'm asking you to remember everything that you have heard them say in the previous interviews, right? Oh, George Haynes. Boom! Not only am I welcoming you to our True Crime 11 family, but you have such an amazing point. You get a gold star. Flashlight, no shoes, no coat. Temp in the 20s to 30s that night, and the doors were still locked. Dun, dun, dun. Impossible, in my opinion. Okay, we're not gonna, to me, the victim is the person that is either a homicide victim, the abused victim that survived, or the victim is sometimes the parent, right? In some way, like if they are in Florida and their 21-year-old kid is in Alaska and the kid dies, I'm going to tell you now that parent is suffering, and I feel a victim of circumstance. But then there are those that are near the child, responsible for the child. That's when we have to look very closely at what is shared. So I am going to be pausing this ridiculously a lot. It's a 20-minute interview that will probably take us an hour and a half. I kid you not, because I want to hear what your opinions are. This is a podcast, and you are welcome to watch it as well, but it's more of a podcast. And in this, we are dissecting, which means we will be breaking apart little snippets of this interview all the way through. It may take us 2 days. It may take us a week. It might get done today. We'll find out. But one thing I will tell you is I want to say a very big thank you and great job to Chronicles of Olivia. Her channel is really good. Check her out. I have the full interview link in the description, which is below this video. You actually have to find that little V that points down like an arrow. It's a V. Click it and you'll get a whole bunch of stuff. And in there you'll see the link. And then after the live, I will pin it in the comments below. All right. We got to get rolling. We do need a gold star emoji. Do we not have it, Jenny? We don't have it. All right. We'll do this unicorn for now. It kind of looks like a star, doesn't it? It's got stars with it. That's a gold star to us. That's our gold star. Yeah. When I say somebody gets a gold star, y'all light it up with gold stars. That helps the algorithm. It's fun. All right, lovelies. This is for Sebastian, who is 15 years old, that allegedly has at least somewhat of a pocket light watch or something. No shoes, no coat. It's between 20 and 30 degrees, allegedly. And at night, mother's in the house. Allegedly, all doors are locked. Let's hear this story.
Although he doesn't like to be dirty, it's kind of funny because he also doesn't have awareness, because if you look, he's got chocolate milk on his face because he didn't wipe it off at breakfast.
Okay, hold on. This is what I wanted to talk about. We're going to have to open a program here or two, but this is worth it. Okay, let's just make a new one real quick. I've got to show you this. You're going to be like, what? But she says, well, doesn't matter what she says. Let's look at this. She talked about him not have, he doesn't have awareness because look, he has chocolate on his face and he didn't wash it off. And I thought to myself, that is very bizarre to say right off the bat. I'm just saying, why would you even bring up that your son, your first words are that you don't have awareness, your son doesn't have awareness. And I'm like, why are you even talking about chocolate on his face? And then I looked and I'm like, that's not chocolate on his forehead. That is not damn chocolate on his forehead. So this is a very light picture. We're going to deepen it up so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to do it right here for you. That's the normal one. We're going to darken it up so that you can actually see this. We're going to change this up. We're going to format this picture so you can see what the hell is going on, because what is this? What am I seeing? I'm going to lighten it slightly. We're going to bring up the contrast so that it's more like a photograph and not a washed out whatever. We'll decrease the saturation. Okay. We're going to take some of the red out, bring in a little bit of blue, which is what the color should be. Now you can see, right? Now, she is talking. Let's insert. Where's my draw? Here. Okay. She's talking and pointing about this smudge right here. Chocolate. I don't give a shoot about the chocolate. I want to know this. What is that? What in the hell? Why is she worried about this little chocolate when I'm looking at this? Now, I want you to look at this. It's got this impression and this impression. Okay? Almost like two knuckles side by side, turned. Like you put your knuckles forward, like giving somebody a knucklehead. Now, this could be this kid fell off his bike. I don't know. But this child is nowhere to be found. So when they talk about this child being aggressive, or they say anything negative about this child, I'm going to be listening intently. It's not his hair. Okay, let's fix this picture a little better because I want to make sure y'all can see. Okay. We're going to crop this picture. I'll leave the eye intact so that you get a full understanding of the location of the bruise so that you can still discern where it's located. Now, in fact, I'm going to leave the top part of the hair so you can see the hairline. Okay, eyebrows, there we go. Let's enlarge this. For you, it would be like this. Let me show you the hairline. Well, wait. Before we get into that, let me darken this picture back up a little bit for you. Nope. There we go. Draw. Here we go. This is his actual hairline. There's a little piece of hair that goes there. The hair comes up like this. It juts back. It comes down. It peeks out right here. That is this child's hairline. It's disconnected. Why? Okay, let me show you. Right here, there's no hair. So, Why would his hair be super dark right here and right here and right here? What about that? Why is it? It could be a birthmark. So let's check. Is it a birthmark? We're going to go get another picture of Sebastian. Let's see here. Whoops. Sorry, guys. We're going to see if it's a birthmark. I'm looking for one that I can see his forehead clear on. His bangs are always in the way. Okay, the best one I think out of all these is probably this vehicle one, right? Let's look at it. We're going to grab it again. Now, maybe it is a birthmark, but it would show up in all pictures. Actually, I just want the one of his face. I don't care about the puppies right now. Just his precious little face. Copy it. And let's put it right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something. Let's make this picture transparent. Okay. Let's turn it to line his glasses up. And let's make it big enough so that we can look at this. Hairline to hairline. So let's get his eyes and his glasses all lined up. That's about it, right? Now, let's go back and remove the transparency. Now let's bring no bruise, nothing, no bruise, no birthmark, right? Now, let's move this out of the way. Explain to me that. Anybody? Hold on, let me move some things around so I can see what I'm showing you too. See this? These are some very dark, dark places. And you may need to get on a computer or your TV to be able to see. Hey, Sarah Pagan. Smile later, cry later. Smile now, cry later, says that's why I think it's his hair because he does seem to have bangs in the picture. Yeah, right here. He's got it sticking out. It's right there. Da da da. But his hairline goes way back here. Then we have this whole bunch of skin right here. So if you're on your phone, you may not see it. But I promise you, it's not a birthmark. Promise. And it's not his hair. So, it appears to be a bruise. A very serious bruise, in my opinion. I'm going to draw the shape one more time of this bruise. I want you to think about this bruise. Okay, let's get a thinner line. All right. It goes like a pair of sunglasses. Here's one. And here's one. And they're not connected. And there's nothing in between the hairline but skin. So even if your hair is hanging down, you're not going to have skin right here and then dark, dark clobs of hair right here unless the hair fell out. Judith Arlington, stepfather keeps snakes in the house because he raised them. Sick shit. Oh, I disagree. I actually used to raise snakes and breed them. I got rid of them when I had babies because I didn't want snakes in the house with my babies. But when I was single, I raised snakes and I sold them to the pet store. I love snakes. I think they're very pretty. Yeah. A lot of people raise snakes, actually. Hey, Demon Doc. Well, if the parents beat the kid, took a pic, then presented the pic in an interview after he goes missing, more than one in that family is autistic. Just saying. It looks like a school picture. I don't know. I'm over it. I just wanted to show you that. You guys think what you want. I'm not here to convince you. I just found that curious. Let's get the interview going.
Although he doesn't like.
Can you recap the overall story of Sebastian's disappearance? Kind of walk through that day.
Sunday, the day before he went missing, we got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing, we were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We
Why is that a big deal that she made breakfast, y'all? Fun fact, I made breakfast. Called a friend just to brag. Did I miss something? What is the deal with the breakfast? Why are you focused on breakfast? Maybe it's because it's his last breakfast, but I'm just saying, why are you like, I made breakfast?
we went and picked up our niece.
Sister,
Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley, and then from there we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." And went to bed.
She still drops it's almost word for word. It is so word for word at this moment, including the fact she still does not clarify telling the child, I love you too. And if you were just to hear only the mother and father's interview, even just 2 minutes in, would you be able to tell me their child's name? Hey, Bugsy. The rocking back and forth, what the hell? She does that in all her interviews, so it's a comfort thing. She may have a, you know, I mean, it could bother some people, but at the same time, if you're nervous to be on camera, which she won't even look at the camera this time. Like last time, she didn't like it, but this time, it's like she's really withdrawn her focus. I think she's trying to really think about what she's trying to communicate. Randy Potter said, I was curious about kinky ads on stepdad's Facebook. I mean, if your computer is going to be checked, most would remove it, wouldn't they? I don't know. I don't know anything about any of that. Lee McKenna, she sounds like she wrote that down before she says it, in my opinion. Okay, so we're going to continue here. There's going to come upon a time where I'm going to stop it and I'm just going to say, do you believe him or not? And when I do, if you do believe the person speaking, put a 1 in the section, whether you're on replay or you're right now in the live. Put a 2 if you don't believe them. But wait for it till it happens. I'll let you know.
He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep.
That's new. Do you believe her or not? What's your hunch tell you? Now remember, we've already done one full interview with her. She walked through the exact timeline. She never mentioned any noise in his room at 10 p.m. before. This is the very first I'm hearing of this because she never told it in her interview with the news. Do you believe her? I'm getting twos, not any ones. Sarah Fagan believes her. Okay, and we respect that. So, why would you mislead that you heard noises in your son's room if you didn't and your son is really missing? Because that might change the way investigators investigate. They may feel that 10 o'clock is very important when really, if you didn't hear it and your son really is missing, what if 2 o'clock is more important? So to redirect attention to a specific time in a crime is to control the narrative. The question is, why would the mother of a missing child want to control a narrative? That's my question. All right, let's continue.
And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
Can't any of these parents say he was missing? He was missing. He was missing. When they say he wasn't here, or they use the words, the child was gone, or in her previous interview, I woke him up, but he wasn't there. Because when you say he wasn't, I woke him up, but he wasn't there, it makes me think that you're trying to wake a dead body. When somebody says he wasn't there, it makes me think that their body was there, but they weren't there. But it doesn't mean that necessarily. Like, you could be talking about your car keys. I went to grab my keys and they weren't there. What do you mean they aren't there? They're not on the hook. So there's weird ways to look at things, right?
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself, holy freaking crap, this can't be happening, where is my kid? Choice words were used. Where the F is he, I had looked through the house for him, because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that, and he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out.
What does that mean? He likes to dip behind the walls and watch. Is she implying the child is lurking and sneaky? I've never expressed to anyone, and remember, I used to be a preschool teacher for special needs. I've never described a child as dipping behind walls. Okay, let's listen to that again. Hold on a minute. Let me tend to my Gretch. I'm going to back this up a little bit so I can get her all the way downstairs, and it'll give you something to listen to. Listen to the way she describes Sebastian.
At that point, like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself, holy freaking crap, this can't be happening, where is my kid? Choice words were used. Where the F is he, I had looked through the house for him, because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that, and he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But after I looked, And I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And
Okay, that's an update because in the other interview, she never spoke his name, never yelled for him. She literally evaded that entire topic. She looked for him but didn't find him and then called us stepdad. In this one, she is stating that she actually hollered for him. Now, again, I'm going to ask you, if you sat down and I just said, here's an interview of a missing child, and you went with just listening to her talk, no visual, would you know the child's name? Bugsy says maybe he saw mom and stepdad doing something and anger took off. Okay, here we go, you guys.
I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school.
Oh, whoa. Okay, first thought. Me and my ex-husband don't live that far apart. My 15-year-old is not in my house. I wake up. I go to wake him up. He's not there. The first thought for me, if he's not in my house, I am praying that my 15-year-old, who we both know, she said in the other interview, she confirmed he would, without a doubt, know how to get to his father's house. Why would you, as a mother, not call a stepdad that's 250 miles away, allegedly in Memphis, and can do absolutely nothing? Not the police department first, but why are you not calling us the real dad and saying, is Sebastian there? Right, Wild Man's mom? Call the dad, the real dad. Peggy Hancock, call the real dad. Right. George Haynes says she also changed a story of the morning that she drives around looking. Correct. She never said she went looking for this child before this interview. Or in the other interview, I should say. She may have had another interview and said it that I didn't see. Also, have you watched Supporting Profiles? They have created profiles to mother. What is being said, stepdad actually admits it in interview. No, I haven't. That sounds interesting. Hey, Phoenix Badar. And what the hell does it mean that she said she censored herself, walks through life and says, oh, I'm going to censor myself? I may have been with Gretchen at that point. Ooh. Demon dog. I'm not going to get no jumper cables, lovely. That's creepy. Okay, here we go.
I looked out all the doors and windows and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on, and he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I drove back to the house, and 20 days later we haven't found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, when we were driving up here, this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever walked away before? Or has that ever happened? It's just,
No.
No, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not one that is like.
He doesn't have a history of being
No.
an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children. But no, Sebastian, that's one thing, has always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues.
Now, I am not a doctor and I do not play one on TV. However, I am Mama D, which makes me MD for initials, right? I'm going to tell you, I highly suspect the mother may be on the spectrum as well. I am very trained as a mother myself of autistic child, as well as I have special needs training. The rocking she does, not ever in an interview do her eyes feel comfortable up looking at everyone. Because somebody is on the spectrum, they have a very difficult time with eye contact, and I will not hold that against this person. She also, as Wild Man's mom may be pointing out, that she may also be heavily medicated. We don't know. So there's a lot about the mother that could be seen also in Asperger's and other types of difficulties. I have no idea. I'm not playing doctor. I'm just saying I'm not going to hold it against her. Um, I do feel that there is more to the story than is being shared. So let's continue.
And things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Um, Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache, but for the most part, he's a happy kid. And
What are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is, with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at.
So he says nothing is being eliminated. Everything is being looked at. And then he's about to tell you that they are clear. That is a contradiction. I do not believe the police have cleared anyone. There's a child missing. These people, it is at night, unless they had a camera on them the whole time, they don't seem to have an alibi, for lack of better words. I don't believe anybody is clear. Oh, and by the way, allegedly these two took a polygraph test, and allegedly the stepdad is reporting on Facebook groups that they passed clear. They did real good. I happen to know for a fact that they do not have to tell you the truth even. So, for instance, there's a missing child. Two parents come in, they take a polygraph. One fails, one doesn't. The police can literally, legally tell you both passed with flying colors. Or, let's say they both passed with flying colors, but they suspect that one may really be the culprit, okay? They could tell that one, you did not pass your lie detector test, even though you did. So you can't put any weight into what the person tells you if they passed a polygraph or not, because you don't even know if they're being told the truth at this point. Now, once it gets into a court of law, you can't even use a polygraph. So, just saying. Phoenix Bedar says, She asked what the theory was, not tell them about the investigation. Excellent point. Gold star. Boom. Because if the question is put out there and they evade it, you have to go back and ask yourself, why didn't they want to answer the question? Or do they at least circle back to the answer at any point? Jillian says, police are allowed to lie to you about everything. Absolutely true. Yep, that's true. Peggy Hancock says, it's so that you don't run. Right, right, right. Phoenix Badar says, I think one of them lured him out of the house under the pretense of some type of emergency. And they was like, no, come now. And that's why he didn't have shoes on. He didn't have time to put them on. Well, I have a feeling, okay, whenever an accident happens, something that is unexpected, your brain kind of goes in. I'm talking serious accident involving death. I believe your body goes into shock when you are not expecting it, especially if it's a child. I would think that they were possibly not realizing to put shoes on someone because they had to carry the person. And the truth was, the person wasn't going to get their feet dirty because they weren't walking. And that's why I believe shoes were not put on this child. In my humble opinion, I really honestly would like to see a toxicology. I want the body back if he has passed over, and I would like a toxicology because I would suspect, being that this child we know is on medication and also has aggressive tendencies. I've been a med tech for the state of Wisconsin for years. I know all about these types of behaviors and I know what medications are given. And you have some that are called PRNs, and they are for behavioral control when there is like this person is wound up, and these children that go through bowling alleys, go out to eat, it's a busy day, this person, that person, da 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 da. When they get home, several, and everybody's different, but there are tendencies in some cases for the individual to become non compliant, right? Sit down and eat your supper. I'm not hungry. Hey, popcorn. Da, da. And it is within the guidelines to use a PRN to medicate the person to control their behavior and slow them down, woosa, woosa, so that they can sleep and the caregiver, the mother, can get her recharge time. However, there are times, okay, nurses themselves have over medicated someone accidentally, and doctors have done the same thing. I came on a shift one time and went to give medicine, and it had no medicine given. Nobody signed it. But luckily, I was paying close attention, and in my bubble pack where the pills pop out, I always check the date, and guess what? The pill was already gone. Now, the natural tendency would be to pop that pill out because he didn't have it and give it to him and not look at the date and realize that's tomorrow's pill. Fortunately, I was a very thorough med tech. I checked the date and I'm like, well, the pill's gone. Even if the person is saying they didn't give it, they damn sure did. So I'm not going to give him two because he could die, especially depending on what other medication they're based on. And I'm not saying this happened. I'm just saying it makes you wonder why no shoes. If the child is never going to put foot on the ground, their natural tendency would be not to worry about shoes on somebody's feet that you're going to carry. However, the truth is, if you're trying to sell a story later after the fact, right? and somebody's like, why aren't any of the shoes missing? You might be like, oh shit, he would have walked. Why didn't I grab a pair of shoes if I was going to hide the bag? Again, it's just speculation. Spaghetti sticking to the wall, seeing if it sticks, right? George Haynes and the actual dad took polygraph, but father said that no one else has been tested and neither have been on a search yet and went out Sunday for a motorcycle trip. They are not concerned. They know the truth, in my opinion, right? But if you go on Facebook, the stepdad is alleging that they both took a polygraph and both passed and that they're in the clear. Well, I hope they realize law enforcement's the one that's listening to those little Facebooks. And if they know damn sure these people aren't clear and didn't take a polygraph, they're going to be looking at that. Truth will come out, right?
Nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst.
Yeah.
And
that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
really trying not to go down that road because
Well,
we're going to find him.
speculating causes problems. Assumptions cause issues. And based on facts of what everybody knows, right now, there's nothing, and everything is still on the table to being looked at.
We just know he's out there somewhere.
One other question I have is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video or?
Sure. So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay, and that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what I can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from, but I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Do you believe him or not? Show me a 1 if you believe he's telling the truth about the flashlight video, and give me a 2 if you do not believe him. I'm going to give him a 1. I absolutely believe him. He was very clear. He didn't ho-hum about it. He clarified what he could, and I believe him. My gut says that video of those flashlights have nothing to do with this case. All right. Everybody disagrees with Mama. Nobody believes him. They all feel that those flashlights in that film actually have to do with the crime. Rondi Potter's with me. I believe him. I really do believe him that those flashlights are footage from a different location that have nothing to do with this. Dreamweaver 2 says, is there video footage of these two on a joyride? It's rumor. It was a local that claims to have seen these two on a motorcycle ride. Told, I believe, JLR, someone out there about it. I just don't believe that this footage had anything to... I think he's being honest about it right now. When it comes to the footage of these two flashlights being an unrelated, they know where it is, they know what it's about, all that. I just personally, I don't Bill, he's lying. I really think that those are just a different footage. Born Packrat is unsure with a 3. Nettie is in agreement with me. All right, lovelies, here we go.
Okay.
And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff. And it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has. And they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yeah. Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's strain and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. So that's
around this neighborhood, and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful in pushing out any which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't home, and they got they've got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah.
that's good.
Now, I'm not one on body language unless it's something they haven't done before. If I've never seen them do it, then I'm like, what was that? She smirked. She actually, both sides of her face, did a pronounced smirk. And I don't know what that is, so we're going to back it up, hopefully a tiny bit. Kind of. Here we go.
They can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't home, and they got they've got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah,
That's good. If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Oh God. That if you can see this or hear this, that we just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion, that we love you, miss you, we want you home, and if you can, call us, get wherever you can, let us know, and we will come get you.
Call 911, run out into the street, go in public, anything. The signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines, trying to get awareness, because
I find it interesting that she says we've been out spreading awareness and all this, but everything we're hearing is that they have not been out on the searches and they did not attend any vigils. So, do you believe? Give me a 1 if you believe what she's saying, that these posters that she and him, as in we, have been out spreading these, or is she using, go with number 2, that you don't believe her, and that she's using the community's work on these posters as a we. So Lee McKenna says, I'm not buying these guys. Gemini 65 says, lying again. Phoenix Bad LR says, still doesn't say his name. I would be like, Sebastian, I love you. I miss you. I don't know, man. I smell the fish. She literally did a beautiful job in this interview, and Olivia gave her the opportunity as a mother to talk to Sebastian. Not only would I say Sebastian's first name, I'd say Sebastian Wayne Drake. Listen to mama, right? I'd say middle name because it's intimate bond you have with that child. Like, okay, an example in my own life, you guys. Now, this is nothing serious. My son was like 14 and he has Asperger's. And his name is Noah and his middle name is Adam. And he got himself in the bathroom and the door jammed and locked. And I had a handyman with me and we were working, and it took 45 minutes to get the doorknob out of the hole and the pin to come out and all that. And the pins of the door was on the inside, and Noah was having a little panic attack because he's very claustrophobic. And as a mother, I can't see my son, and I know he's upset. And I knew him hearing me say, Noah, Adam, Noah, Noah, Adam, are you listening? It made him listen to mama. I focused him because I not only said his first name, but I said his second name, right? Right. Demon Dog says, you're not saying his name is a bad red flag. Say my name, say my name. If you ain't acting shady and calling me baby, say my name, say my name. I can't sing, but you get it. It's a big deal to me too. Right. Jillian says, would you not also plead with who has him? They have not. Right. Wildman's mom says they have not said his name this entire video. It's time in this video. We are at 10 minutes and 44 seconds, almost 11 minutes. How fitting. Would you know the child's name by listening to the mom and stepdad's interview? Would you know their missing child's name? Jillian Lane says, I would definitely be pleading, Jillian. Right? I agree too. Carla Burgeon says, I'd be on my knees begging. Sarah Baggins says, you're 100% right, in my opinion. Hey, Terry Martin. I wish we knew what they possibly had to say to each other, especially if he had to get up early for work for 3 hours in the middle of the night. George Haynes says the stepdad's right arm also has scratches. Oh, allegedly. I'd have to look, right? That would be interesting. I've been wondering what this is, if this is a shadow here, because if you look, the shadow's over here, right? You see his beard shadow right here. But then you see this right here. It looks weird. I mean, shadows are difficult. But if you look on her, the shadow's over here too, behind her. And the shadow's over here behind him. So what is this? Birthmark? Aggie Willett says they don't say his name in any of the videos. I'd be crying my eyes out. Right? Bugsy says, like she said, I know. He's out there somewhere. Is this a bruise, y'all? We got to take a minute. This is why our process takes so long. Okay, we got to open up one of these deals. All right, let's get it on the board. Let's enlarge the crap out of it. Now remember, the light is coming this way. So this is a shadow right here of his beard. I'm outlining his shadow of his beard. So then, what is this right here? I'm just asking. What is this? What is this? Let's mess with it a little bit. Let's get back over here. Let's get into this. We're going to lighten the picture up a little bit. Whoops. I went the wrong way, y'all. Okay. Let's add a little bit of contrast so that we can see what's going on. Let's drop that temperature back so we don't have so much red in the... Yeah. What the hell is that? This is not a t-shirt tan line. Look. The t-shirt would have to go like that. I mean, you could choose to believe what you want, but this part of his neck is exposed when his collars. If he was driving, it would be on that side, not over here. Right? And in the crane truck, he ain't going to get no sun. I'm just curious. I'll let you be the judge. I'm not here to convince you. I do find that strange. Let's continue, my lovelies.
You know, not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone could see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there because we want him home.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on, and it's kind of like a shocker. Like, how do you not know? You know, it is amazing because in the past couple of weeks, you've got 2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old 6'4" or 7" college kid from Missouri who has vanished without a trace. Like, that.
Okay. I've got to throw this out there. It's one thing to talk about another missing case when your son is missing. Okay, so for instance, if your kid goes missing and another kid goes missing and it's in the same state, it would be worth associating and being like, look at that over there and this. Yeah. But the difference is one is in their bed at night in your own house and the other is legally drinking, right? And on camera and going away. Are you thinking, dude, that in somehow you can make it sound like it's something in the water by associating yourself to Riley Strain's case? I don't get that, y'all. Bait and switch. Right, Demon Dog. Right. Bugs say, yep, trying to throw suspicion. Exactly. Like, look over here kind of thing. Phoenix Badar says she stared at that missing poster longer than she talked to him, pleading for him to come home. Staring, really hiding from the camera's view. I feel she's autistic in some manner. That's just my opinion. And when you do have Asperger's, or if you are on the spectrum of autism, you're naturally not going to look at the camera. You're not. You have a very hard time with cameras. You have a very hard time with people's eyes. And my son is proof every day. I have very few photographs because he is so uncomfortable with a camera. He never looks at the camera. When he talks to me, he does not look me in the eyes. He'll look at the table the whole time he's talking to me. It is literally part of his diagnosis, his symptom. It's a part of it. So I find that interesting. But I'm going to use trying to, how do I want to put it? Remove blame or soften the blame or distance yourself from the responsibility of your son being missing. By saying, look over here, there's another kid missing, so we're not so bad. Just my opinion.
That's a huge significance here that it's like, wow. how? So,
It's scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the college kid is from Missouri, I think.
Yeah, Missouri.
I can only imagine what his family is going through.
It's like your worst nightmare come alive.
Do you guys receive hate
That-
on the internet?
Yes, and it's ongoing. It's every single day. People are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's going on and who's guilty and who's not guilty because they want to know or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you, every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted and we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that.
Do you believe him? Has he been cleared? Have the parents been cleared of all foul play? Give me a 1 if you believe him. Give me a 2 if you don't. Jillian says the problem I have with it is he says, quote, I can only imagine what they're going through. What do you mean, imagine? According to you, you also have a missing child. So why would you need to imagine? Jillian, you get 2. 2. A double. Gold star. Boom, boom. Why would you need to imagine? You are going through. That'd be like standing in a boiling pot of hot water and you see somebody else standing in a boiling pot of hot water and you're like, I could only imagine how painful that must be for you. Right? Okay. 100% 2 is not 1-1. Vetted is so different than cleared, y'all. Vetted. And you know what? He may be saying that because law enforcement may, if they even did take a polygraph, if they did take a polygraph, law enforcement might be lying and saying, yeah, we don't suspect you guys. Have you ever listened to the Darlie Routier case? She had no idea that she was a suspect until they literally said you were under the arrest. Terry Martin says, too, his bio dad is deputy sheriff and said nobody is cleared. Right? Elsie Kuhn, hello, lovely. You say, but he thinks they are clear because they told him to catch them. That's what I feel. Jillian says, he slipped up there. All right, we have got 7 minutes left. We got to rock this down because we're already at 1:20. Let's roll.
We've heard all kinds of stories.
I pretty much don't even go online anymore at this point.
I, on the other hand, I do go on. And I do talk to these folks. And I want them to understand they have this formulated opinion on who we are, not who we truly are. They've never met us. We've never crossed paths with some of these folks. But I have told them all online, if you want to know, just ask me. I'll answer your questions to the best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not to provide certain information. But I will try. I am direct, I am brash, but I am very respectful. So, if you...
What does brash mean? I am brash. Why use that word to describe yourself? Because we are looking at a situation where we have a missing child. So if a parent is explaining to you how they see themselves, let's look that word up. I need to know. What is brash? Self-assertive in a rude, noisy, overbearing way. He could be brash, cocky, and arrogant. Strong, energetic, and irreverent. I like brash, vibrant flowers. Having an obstreperous and tasteless appearance. The cafe was a brash new building. Bold. Cocky. Arrogant. I had to know what it meant. Demon Dog says, it's a DK head. Well, harsh, brash. Okay. So he's describing himself as that. Is that how because he controls a lot of the interviews, right? I mean, he is definitely on that Facebook controlling the narrative online. He is doing a lot of the talking in the interviews when allegedly he wasn't there. I find that interesting.
Have questions, ask. I'll give you what I can. Just be respectful, please. And keep in mind, there's 3 parents and there's thousands and millions of people out there that may have a question. We are trying to get to them, I promise you.
How has your guys' life been affected by this? Like, I know it's a broad question, but what's, like, when you wake up in the morning, what's it just like?
Miserable, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. You wake up every morning.
I always have a problem when somebody says to be honest with you if they've already been talking. Because I always think to myself, why have you not been honest up till now? And I know that sounds little and trivial, but why all of a sudden announce it and now you're being honest? It's like, to me, it's like a subliminal, subconscious signal to the person you're speaking to that you have used deception up to this point in some fashion. I mean, why choose now in your conversation to be like, to be honest with you, as if I have to clarify, what I'm about to share with you is the truth. But you've already been talking all this time, so what behind you that you've said made you feel the need to clarify that now, to be honest, I'm now choosing to be honest, to share something. I don't know. It's just a little pet peeve I have. Hey, Willow's mama. Welcome to Starlight Seed, my beautiful. You're now on our all-star panel. Willie McKenna says he thinks he's a director. Bugsy, they spend more time on themselves than Sebastian, in my opinion. Aw says cares more about people's questions on the internet, birds on a wire, than canvassing the area looking for Sebastian. Kim G Mean says that means it's a lie.
And your routine is what it is and you know it, right? Now wake up when this happens and you can't figure out what to do. You struggle every single day on trying to get out of the bed, to deal and face everybody's negativity, and you try to make it a positive thing.
Or the fact that my son's still not home.
We have a bedroom that's empty that is never normally ever empty, except for when he's with his dad every other weekend. So now we have a child that's missing. So there's no words to describe it, but I can just tell you It's like you get up and now you don't know what to do.
Sebastian's parents also talked about how his actions
So I do agree with that statement he makes that you get up in when your kid's missing, regardless of how it happened, whether there's foul play or not. I do feel he doesn't know what to do now. You know, um, they probably don't know what to do with themselves either way. So all that would happen either way, whether they're involved or not. They don't know what to do. I'm sure their life is hell. And, the question I have is this, I don't believe this was premeditated murder. That's just my humble opinion. But do I believe what they're saying? I have a lot of doubt. I have a lot of doubt. Do you believe what they're saying? Still no name. Say my name, say my name. If you ain't acting shady, baby, say my name. No words, no tears. Anti-crimer, welcome. You say, why do I get the vibe she's scared of him, controlling? Now that I do pick up on. I did not get that in the Madeline Soto case. I did not get that Jen was scared of him at all. I definitely feel a feeling of intimidation and control around him. I think he used the word brash correctly. Very arrogant, very controlling. Sinaloa Tacos says, boss said, stay away, look for your stepson. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to do right now but look for his stepson. I do not believe that. Absolutely do not believe that. I do not believe that any human being would be kept away from looking for their child, their missing child, because you could not stop some parents. Brandy has looked, and guess what? You can get people to go with you so that there's no chance that you are the one finding the body. That somebody else does it. You can hang up flyers. You can go to business after business and they cannot stop you. You can say, hi, my name is so-and-so. My son, Sebastian Rogers, is missing. Here's another flyer. Can you please add it to the ones that you have on your wall? There is a lot of ways that you can help find your child. In my opinion, there is no excuse not to be looking for your baby. Right, Mr. Brash? That's like he said pervy one day instead of privy. Jill Troglin says, or Chinny Troglin, sorry, says, I think she's worried about saying too much and mess up his plan.
and behaviors could be different, or how he would respond in a new environment.
Well, that's kind of tricky because Sebastian hasn't been on his medication in 20 days. So he is rambunctious. He's going to be hungry. He turns into a bottomless pit. I mean, he's your teenage boy, always hungry. On the spectrum, yes. But not one autistic child in this world is like another one. What we can tell you is he's smart. He can be goofy. He kind of has issues with personal space. He hasn't mastered.
He can be
up in your face kind of kid.
he can be aggressive if he's upset.
Yeah. He's emotional. He's a teenager.
He doesn't like punch and hit and throw, but he gets really like aggressive stanced or like clipped where he just won't talk to you, or if he's really upset, he like growls.
Yeah,
That's interesting how the stepdad just kind of, and then he just chuckles it off. I feel he felt frustrated by Sebastian. is a mom giving us clues 32 to 63 miles per hour? Well, that's a great question. I feel like you might be onto something. Aggressive when upset, but not in a physical way, like growling. Hmm, it is very interesting. Aw, Jennifer Swain. Thank you, lovely, for that $50 snooper chat. You rock the house. I love you, darling. Thank you. Thank you for always being so incredibly generous. Thank you. Goddesses 3, Sebastian was supposedly going to live with his bio dad, plus rambunctious was a word used by the West's adopted parents in the interview. Ooh, good point. Anti-crimer, he belongs to a motorcycle club and she wears the shirt. Yeah. Sassy says, sounds like Sebastian was frustrated with them, in my opinion. George Haynes believes that the stepdad may be a narcissist. Well, there's covert narcissists too. That in general public, they look like they're the life of the party, they're super friendly, and then they get home and they close that door and they expect everybody to walk on eggshells and live by their life.
Share, look, pay
Be
attention.
vigilant. You know, and we don't expect everybody to stop what they do and spend every waking minute. But you would be surprised on how easily people are complacent and not realize certain things. We're all guilty because we're all human. We all live a daily life. But sometimes just being a little bit extra vigilant,
Aware of your surroundings in case there's something suspicious.
you never know. But don't ever stop is all we ask. Please keep looking, keep searching. Anything, reach out. You know, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely, keep his story in the spotlight, and all it takes is for one person to see something or know something, and
All we need is
that's
just
just
one clue.
that one clue.
The old saying, see something, say something.
And a few others, but we're working with everyone we can. And taking, like, some people have been kind and reached out with resources that I didn't know were out there, and I've reached out to all of them. Truckers Against Trafficking, we reached out to them just in case.
Biker world, that's one thing everybody has in common is their love for a child, and they can't stand to see children missing, hurt, and it doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter what group it is. That's one commonality between every group, and that's why as a part of being in that world, we go and we utilize our brothers and sisters to help spread that word. You'd be surprised on how easy it is to spot somebody. The biker. So
How can people help?
this community, I'm gonna tell you right now, far and wide, multiple communities, counties, various people, some people in other states reach out either through social media, in person, but everybody is searching. They've looked. They're constantly looking. They're constantly giving us ideas. Hey, check this. What about this? All of that is great.
Report anything that could potentially, even if it's little.
It doesn't matter what it is. However, what we can ask is that instead of people assuming and trying to put negative out there, just try to stay with the facts and report all the things that are positive. Any ideas that may help, trust me, all law enforcement are available and they are looking at everything.
Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15-year-old male, race is white, brown hair, brown eyes, 5 foot 5 inches, 120 pounds. He is missing, believe it or not, from Sumner County, Tennessee. He has been missing since the 26th of February. If you get information, please call TBI or the Sumner office at 615 451 3838. It just breaks my heart. Kim G says, Mother, guilty mother, she needs to speak up, in my opinion. Anti-Crimer says, in my humble opinion, most bikers are okay, but there's always a bad apple that doesn't that does what he wants. Gemini 65, just these two, ugh. Willow Mama says, I'm surprised she's a chatty Cathy on this interview compared to her others. Sassy says, Sebastian looks so happy in his pictures. He does, too. Lee McKenna says, he looks like such a happy kid. Oh, Lord, look after him, please. 12 to 63 miles per hour says, Mom keeps giving clues. She even says that one clue. Why can't we stand next to Seth? That is weird. We only need one clue. But never said his name. Why did she never say Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Why did she never say Sebastian? Even when talking directly to the camera, she never said, Sebastian, listen to Mom. It just bothers me. She reeks mental illness, no self-love, no self-worth, no love for herself or anyone else. She went along with it. Come on, in my opinion. Terry Martin says, we are going to hear from his grandma soon. She has info she has said she is going to share. I've heard that too. Jennifer Swain says, motorcycles and tattoos have nothing to do with this. I agree. Absolutely agree. Some of my very good friends are part of motorcycle rides. They do it in the summer and they have a great time and they are truly harmless. In fact, I would trust them with my own life. And, like I said, just because somebody raises a snake does not mean that they are an evil person either. Sarah Pagan said, God gave us an angel and a monster took him away. All right, my lovelies, my dog Gretchen needs Mama Bear. So, did you hear her? She heard her name. She barked. That's so funny. I love you guys. I truly do. You are incredible. We'll play it by ear. We'll see if I come on tomorrow or not. And most likely, but I am kind of taking my time right now, just seeing what we need to talk about. And if there's something to talk about, I jump on at 4 o'clock. I love you. I want to say thank you so incredibly much to all of the beautiful, beautiful contributions and support to each other. Be kind to each other. And hey, do you believe them or not? Are you ready? I do not believe that they are being honest. I absolutely 100% do not believe that they are being honest. I have a problem with the additional additions to the story. Looking for the child she now includes with driving a car. People pleasing. And therefore, I personally do not believe them. Love you guys very much. To the moon and back. God bless you all. And I pray very heartfelt for Sebastian Rogers to be found safe and sound and returned home.